The echo of fear reverberates through generations. In the Black community, it's a constant companion, a shadow cast by the legacy of policing in America. We see the roots of this fear in the slave patrols, tasked with maintaining a system built on the backs of the enslaved. This fear grew teeth during Jim Crow, morphing into state-sanctioned brutality. The badge and the gun, symbols of authority, became intertwined with terror. This fear is not a figment of the imagination. It's a visceral response to the lived reality of countless Black men, women, and children subjected to unreasonable force and racial profiling. It colors the way we move through the world, the choices we make, the conversations we have with our children. We must dismantle the systems that perpetuate this fear and build anew, brick by painful brick. We owe it to ourselves, to our ancestors, and to future generations to demand better, to demand justice. The names echo in our minds, etched onto our hearts. Trayvon Martin, a child carrying Skittles and iced tea, gunned down. Michael Brown, left bleeding on the asphalt for hours. Eric Garner, pleading for breath that never came. These are not isolated incidents. They are symptoms of a systemic issue that demands our attention. Each name carries a story, a life cut short, a family forever shattered. The videos capturing these horrific acts sear themselves onto our retinas. We must channel our grief, our anger, into a force for change. We owe it to them, to all those who have been lost, to create a world where their names serve as a reminder of the transformative power of collective action. The impact of police violence extends far beyond the immediate victims. It ripples outward, leaving communities traumatized, families shattered, and trust in law enforcement broken. The constant fear, the suspicion, the knowledge that a routine traffic stop could escalate into a life-or-death situation. These are the burdens carried by Black and brown communities. Children grow up witnessing the abuse of power, internalizing the message that their lives are less valuable. The trauma manifests in countless ways, from anxiety and depression to a deep-seated mistrust of authority figures. Imagine living with the constant dread that a loved one might not come home because of the color of their skin. The emotional toll is immeasurable. We must listen to these stories, amplify these voices, and demand better for our communities. Section 4. Reimagining justice. We can't keep applying band-aids to a gaping wound. The need for systemic change is glaringly apparent. We must move beyond superficial reforms and address the root causes of police violence, racism, implicit bias, and the militarization of law enforcement. Demilitarization is about changing the culture of policing, fostering a sense of community engagement. We need officers trained to de-escalate, who understand the communities they serve, and who are held accountable for their actions. Independent investigations of police shootings, the use of body cameras, and the creation of civilian oversight boards are crucial steps. This is not about demonizing all police officers. We must hold all officers accountable for upholding the law and respecting the sanctity of human life. Section 5. Seeds of Change. The fight for police reform is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires sustained effort, unwavering commitment, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. We must educate ourselves about the issues, engage in difficult conversations, and challenge our own biases. Voting is crucial. We must elect officials committed to police reform and criminal justice reform. Use your voice. Contact your elected officials, write letters to the editor, and use social media to raise awareness. Share the stories of those affected by police violence and demand justice for all victims. Section 6. The Unfinished March. The fight for justice is a relay race, a torch passed down through generations. From the civil rights movement to the Black Lives Matter movement, we stand on the shoulders of giants who fought tirelessly for equality and justice. We honor their legacy by continuing the march towards a more just and equitable society. The journey is far from over. There will be setbacks, frustrations, and moments of despair, but we cannot afford to give up hope. We must keep fighting for a future where every child, regardless of the color of their skin, can live without fear. This is not just a Black issue, it's an American issue. Let us march forward with courage, with conviction, and with the unwavering belief that a better world is possible.